Calico, who else needs rolls? Sylve and Ultras, these two right here.
I need a roll.
Yeah, we need roll.
Pixar has assigned a 0. Oh. Wait.
Turn it up to 40%.
Is this better?
Thank you, Cyan. Oh, we can start now? Okay, so yeah, okay. I'm gonna wait 2 minutes, I think, because that's a good suggestion. I'll let people just get to the stage area.
There's a lot of people leaving and joining, so...
Yeah, and people leaving and joining, yeah. That's a good horse there, Fanistray. You have a very good horse.
A hostile takeover by Mod Garden has occurred.
Hostile takeover, Mod Garden, let's go. Hostile takeover.
Yeah. It's been taken over by John Mod Garden.
The theme is revealed, developers will have 1 week of planning. This is a time you may use for anything other than working on the actual mod. Plan out features, find a team to work with. The mod's your garden as long as it's not in the final mod. After the initial planning stage, developers will have 8 weeks or 2 months to develop their mod. This is also a good time for us to prepare running the event, such as working on the world, working on any utilities that are necessary for the world to function, and anything else that would be worth fixing or having within the event. After development and initial bugs are ironed out, ModGarden will open its building server. This is very similar to Modfest's building server process, but we are still going to, but this is around like a month, this is going to be around like a month long. So, yeah. The entire process of ModGarden will take around 3.5 months, so I would suggest really like thinking about like being in for the long term if you're going to sign up to Mod Garden. Okay. So the world will pop up when ready. The world will pop up when ready, which is whenever the game, it's whenever builders are pretty much done and like we decide like a time to like open up the world. We also having different awards to Modfest. Been also built around encouraging specific qualities within mods, such as a Team's Pick award, to highlight mods that might have been left in the dark within user voting. So pretty much, we also have a little system for awards on the website as well. So you can like display your awards on a profile on your website. These are called plants, and plants are obtained when you actually like do stuff within the server. And players are not exempt from rewards either. Players are not exempt from rewards either, because there might be like shards, because shards are also a award that you can get on Mod Garden. So like you can like collect shards as you go, and then as a player you might want to like log in and like collect those shards, and it'll show on your profile if you have your Minecraft account linked, which we have to still set up. So, sign-ups are not just available for modders, as players can do so too. You probably will want to link you only really need to link your Minecraft account if you're a player, but you can link Modrinth if you want as well. I don't mind. Mod Garden is also open to expanding into different types of events for both modders and players. However, we wish to start small and have expectations not exceed our capabilities for now. So like, who knows? We might actually have like a lot more events going on in the future, and like that will be, and certain people may like be involved, and like maybe we'll have like some player-oriented events as well. Like, we're open to expanding is the point here, and we're just starting with Mod Garden as our main event for now. We're hoping to eventually refine the formula as well. Modfest has done a great job with refining its formula as of recent, but with Mod Garden being new, we're bound to get things wrong and learn from them. So I'll now be leading into Sylv, who will be talking about the utility mods of Mod Garden.
So Barricade is Mod Garden's barrier map making tool. It adds new barriers like the directional barriers and the advanced barriers. All non-directional barriers in Barricade use a library called silicate to determine which entities should collide. So an early build of Barricade was utilized in Modfest 1.21, with Modfest now utilizing the version and us showcasing Barricade at Blanketcon 25. So Barricade and Silicate both also have their own booths, which you can use the warp command to go to. Ultras?
Hello. I'm here to talk about the kind of the programming, the full stack of the Mod Garden website and the back end.
Hama says turn up mic.
I can do that. This sound better, or should I do louder? Okay. Mod Garden has needed quite a bit of programming work for things like the website, the backing API on the back end, and even the Discord bot, which accesses and uses that API. Mod Garden's software stack has been worked on by multiple members of Mod Garden, obviously. The backend is using a language familiar to most of us modders. It's using Java and using libraries like Javelin as a web framework to host the REST
What the
JSON
fuck can I
API
do? I want to catch these strays.
and hosting the data that gets to the like database. And the
Has it
backend
started?
even
Are we late?
Yeah, y'all are late.
Are we late?
You're late.
You're late.
Oh
the
shit.
backend
said
even
that?
uses Mojang's DFU library.
How do I
that
sit down,
fits
gang?
upper.
What
Slash sit.
happened to them?
Oh, wait a sec.
Yeah.
Please be quiet.
Yeah, not the DFU. It uses only using the codecs. from it for encoding and decoding to the database. And the other side of the Modgarden stack is the front end, which uses various libraries, mostly Astro as the web framework. And you might wonder why Astro over other web frameworks.
Okay.
It's just the one I used most.
Moving on.
And for styling, Tailwind CSS.
No, we're gonna get in trouble if we try to bust it.
That does not look like it should fit.
There is an event right now. We are not doing it.
It'll fit, trust me.
Is there?
Oh my god.
Fuck.
You guys are party poopers. Why would you trying to go in the? Why are you trying to go in there? You shouldn't do that.
No, the bus.
I'm sorry. Can you forgive me for doing that? I won't do it again.
Okay, guys. Open.
Oh.
Okay. With the website, there's been a few different page routes that are used. There's the homepage, which we have explaining Modgarden, what it is, how to participate.
What is that? What is that boomstick they have?
Then the events page, which hooks from the API,
I want one too.
listing all of the events.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here. I'm walking here.
I'm
walking here. I'm walking here.
A typical rundown of a Modgarden event and the timeline of how it runs. And one of the things.
How do I get one of those? How do I get one of those?
Be the user pages, which displays all of the projects and submissions to events the user has, along with hosting their garden. Which
people are getting forgotten. What's that mean?
For each reward they gain. I always come back. So like how many shards you have and any specific event awards that.
I didn't even say who did it.
And we also have a Discord bot, which is used.
I have burgers. You want a burger?
Sure, it's okay.
Just get destroyed.
People are getting burgers left and right.
What
the? Discord messaging and logging. Next up, I'll give it to Calico to talk about the first Modgarden.
Oh, they're gonna get boomed.
I think we should back out of that.
That is not right.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
You're gonna get boomed, Vanny boomed. You might get boomed.
So we cannot announce the current theme yet, as that is more so interlinked with the planning stage. We specifically are doing the event at the planning stage because we are specifically announcing the theme at the planning stage, so people don't then just to prevent people being like, oh, sorry, I'm just getting Discord DMs, and it's like, okay, no, I'm okay. Very disorganized right now. Okay, so pretty much. It's the ping sounds that are annoying me. Don't worry. I really should. I'm gonna go on Do Not Disturb within the Enchiridion talk. Anyways, we can't quite announce the theme yet because it's not the right time to do so. I can announce the theme and therefore planning stage will start, which the first Modgarden will start on the 25th of May. This should give us enough time to prepare our currently incomplete systems. We hope to see some of you there. Don't worry if what I've said about participating doesn't quite appeal to you, as you can always come and view what modders have made whilst the garden server is up. So, does anybody have any, so this is the mic right here. You can use this, you can walk up to the mic to ask any questions that you might have. We'll be doing a little Q&A here, so feel free to answer. Feel free to come up and ask questions. Okay. So, we'll do this, just walk up to the thing if you want to ask a question, Kichiro.
Oh, wait. Do I speak into the mic?
Yeah, you can, basically right-click the mic and, you're speaking into it, I think.
Hello? Oh, dude, that is so cool. Oh my god, okay. Okay, so, I have a question. I look here arrived here kind of late. What is a Modgarden?
Okay, what is a Modgarden? Modgarden is essentially, to basically put it in short, it's a modding event that runs similar to Modfest, which Modfest has very much been. I'm very thankful for Modfest for allowing us to talk about our event, and basically it's basically a long Modfest, so you have 2 months to complete the mod that you want to make. So this allows you to like, yeah, long fest basically. So this is basically lets you complete. So basically the idea is to like have feature complete mods and like allow people to like follow up with their mods. We might run we might also be running a future thing where like you just submit where you submit previous entries and you just work on those. We might run that in the future at some time as well. So that is not definite, but we might do a previous. We basically want to like grow and cultivate mods, and that is why we chose the name Mod Garden. So hopefully that explains it. If you have any more questions, please ask away now.
How are mod ideas decided upon?
How the theme? The theme, you mean?
Correct.
Okay, so the themes are typically decided upon by like a few of us within the team. Like we specifically want the themes to be very open-ended, that like you can do multiple things with them. And we want to be able to have the theme be very open-ended, so like you can like do stuff with them. And well, yeah, and like the themes, like typically like a regular jam theme, typically like a lot of like jam themes will typically like run off this. Like I've seen some jams that are like kind of like I think the themes can get very specific at times. Modfest is also very good with themes, I will say. Like their themes have been pretty nice. Even like double themes is like, they've been open. So themes, I believe, should be open and like open to many things that you can do within the garden. And yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, Lily, feel free to ask your question.
Can you hear me? Am I doing this right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Cool. How?
What was that? You cut out.
Oh, I accidentally hit the hardware mute button on my.
Oh yeah, okay. There we go.
How long does the Mod Garden server stay up for? Like, how long does the event run for after the 2 months?
Okay, so after the development period and building ends, how long will it run up for? Well, really depends. I think the main thing that we're gonna look for is like probably at least a month at the very least, and we want to like make sure it's open up for like a while, so then people can like have the opportunity to play on it. We're probably not gonna do what Patbox did, where like you have the previous server running while the next Mod Garden's on, but at the very least we want to like keep it alive and while people are actually using it. And of course, world downloads will be available. Hopefully that answers your question. Hello, okay, yeah, you can right-click the mic. There we go. Yeah,
I
Miku,
also had a system mute accidentally.
Okay, good to know. So...
well, something like Blanketcon, it's much easier to showcase these smaller mods. How is it intended for content-focused mods to display what they have?
Okay, so again, it's similar to something like Blanketcon or Modfest, where like you can like have like where you have like a designated build to showcase your mod on the world server, and yeah. So to show mods off, you can like we're gonna be using a lot of like the internal tools that Modfest has, like we share tools because you know that's nice and pretty good. So yeah, please tell me if that didn't answer your question. I will be happy. So yeah, basically we will be basically the question is like we will be. So okay, I'm sorry. I find it a bit hard to like. A lot of things are going through my mind right now. So basically the thing is, right, we need to. So yeah, small mod. If you want to submit a smaller mod to ModGarden, or like not a huge mod, that's also allowed. You can even submit multiple if you want. You just have to like designate like a small area to build your booth and explain your features. So it's a bit similar to the Blanketcon Modfest process in terms of how you actually submit your features and work on like showcasing them. That's really up to you. We'll be doing like a review process for the booths to make sure that like we'll be doing review processes for the booths to make sure that like everyone's booth isn't like say like make sure everyone's booth is like okay and like explains the features in a satisfactory way rather than like I don't know like making a maze and hiding a shard in it. Like that's not like, you know. Okay, so any other questions? I think I've answered that one quite well. So ModGarden, you said that ModGarden cultivates mods. Do you prefer brand new mods, mod jam, or prefer existing mods? Okay, ModGarden. So ModGarden is about making new mods. However, as I said earlier, there might be events for existing mods as well, such as like just designate, such as the one that we brought up in team chat recently, where you like add in like a previous entry or like an existing mod you have, and you want to work, and you just focus on working on it for a mod garden. I don't know what they're going to be called, but it's like no, this not quite Blanketcon. Not quite Blanketcon. It'd more be around like creating new features for an existing mod rather than like just, you know, submitting the existing. Yeah, Mod Garden Grow is a good name. You have another question? Okay, sure.
Will ModGarden have a build phase just like Modfest and Blanketcon? If so,
Yes.
how long will that last?
How long will that last? Ultimately, I think ultimately we are thinking like a month to make sure that like, ultimately we are thinking around a month to make sure, because like, we don't want to make the event itself too long, although we might open it to extending if like absolutely necessary. Because like ultimately, again, this isn't set in stone, because again, like Mod Garden is pretty much a work in progress thing. Like we haven't had time to refine ourselves into like something. And I'll lead on to the next question. What is it? What's your next question?
Are there any requirements you have to follow in terms of making a mod for Mod Garden?
Okay. So basically it would just be the basic stuff, like say like follow the rules, don't do anything triggering, stuff like that.
Also, you should at least loosely follow the theme.
Yeah, and loosely following the theme as well. Like, you can stretch the theme as much as you want, but you can stretch the theme as much as you want. Cheese. What is unique? Okay, so Cheese, okay, Cheese, to answer you there, Cheese, it seems like you've explained Blanketcon to me. Not quite, because Blanketcon, Mod Garden's more about new mods than like existing mods, and it's like about like it's about like actually making them on a longer period of time. Like you
and
can't
also
just like
improving, improving other mods. Yeah,
like you can't just go like, oh yeah, here's my mod that I made. That's for repeat entries. Watching on the stream. On the requirements question. Do mods need to have their source visible when submitting? Yes, they do. This is so then we can like iron out any like unwanted behavior and make sure that I did forget to mention that. we are finalizing our submission rules, and open source is a requirement. But basically, but yeah, it's like easier to patch if something goes wrong. Exactly. It's like we don't source visible pretty much. Source visible. Like pretty much we need to like have people open to like be able to like look at your source, as well as like if you're not going to provide the fixes to us, if you're not going to send us fixes, well, we probably aren't going to like, if you're not going to be cooperative, similar thing, it's like a trust rule. It's like we trust you all to submit mods, and that will work and like fix bugs when necessary. But if you break that trust, well, yeah, you're probably just not gonna be let in to the current mod garden. Okay, so any more questions? Question: do you think a shorter devs plus booth build period would cause conflicts with mod devs' real-life schedule? Any possible recommendations? Okay. So, John Modgarden. John Modgarden is not here right now. John Modgarden is the gardens we modded along the way. But to answer the question, a shorter dev plus booth build period would cause conflicts with mod devs' real-life schedule. Okay, so I think that the thing with shorter periods is like, we wanted to go longer because like, Modfest is 3 weeks, right? Modfests are 3 weeks. And those are mainly designed around like just creating mods for the fun of it. It's like, that's cool. Mod Garden being like more like the 2-month time frame is like just, working on a new mod for 2 months, and like you can pretty much just do whatever in that time. And well, hold on, I gotta reread the question.
Wait, are we still recording?
Yeah,
a bunch of people just crashed.
The crowd just disappeared.
Okay.
Yeah, let's make sure we're still okay, cool. So yeah, would it cause conflicts with real life? So we want to avoid. So the thing with the 2-month time frame is like, we wanted to lean into being long because like, look, if you're gonna be like, oh, you have a month, oh, you have like a month and a half, it's like, you're not really doing anything that like why would you join Mod Garden when like we're just doing what Modfest's doing, It's like, wait, why isn't it this just Modfest, right?
Whoa. Longer time periods also allow people to drop in whenever they want.
Hop in or no?
Yeah, like you can drop in whenever you want as well.
Hello.
Alright.
Make a new bus group.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Oh no.
This hasn't affected us.
Okay, yeah, like there's a lot of people not at the booth now, and like,
yeah, I'm surprised that they affected.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot of.
Yeah, there was a server
Blew up,
crash.
not emptying their post stack.
Yeah, who up not emptying their post stack, Yeah. Sorry.
Anyways, I was gonna ask a question.
Yeah, well, Worldwide Pixel has a text question, and you have a question as well. Okay, what would you say the question?
My question was, what is the recommended programming language for each mod in the mod garden?
Okay. Honestly, you can use whatever the hell you want. Like, we're not going to be restrictive on, like, Java or Kotlin or whatever you want to use. Because, like, I just think that, like,
Can you
that's...
use Lisp?
Can you use Lisp? If you can figure
There
out
is
how to
Lisp.
use...
There is a Lisp on the JVM closure.
If you can figure out how to use Lisp, sure.
Can you submit mods in a language that isn't JVM? If you can
That
figure out
isn't
how to
JVM.
compile it.
Good question. I would say so, but I will have to be able... Well, one of us will have to be able to understand the code in some regard. So don't be surprised if we ask you questions.
Okay, so you're allowed to submit it as long as... Wait, is it just me or... Hold on, I can't hear myself. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, that means the stream is fucked then, because I can't hear myself on the stream.
Oh no.
That's, Hold, please. Oh.
All right, we're trying to murk people from.
Wait, I hear someone. There's voices in my head. Wait, it's a panel. It's a stupid panel. How do I stop this? I don't want to hear you. I don't want to hear you. Shut up. Hello? Wait, can you hear me? Dude, what the hell? I hear somebody else. What the twin? Oh? Hello? No, I still hear the goddamn. I'm tweaking? Yo, I gotta be tweaking. Oh.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you clearly.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, cool. These if you have.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. You might need to like go underground and check the wiring. Oh well. So okay. Pretty much the to answer your, what was your question again? I'm sorry, this has been chaotic. This has been an incredibly chaotic talk, and honestly, I don't even know if I've done justice explaining myself here. And because like people are like, oh, this is just Blanketcon, oh, this is just Modfest, and it's like, well, yeah. Self-doubt, it's a hard one. So yeah, could I have a question again? Like, trust me when I say that, like, we are not, trust me when I say we are like, I want to be a bit experimental with Modfest. Like, no, not Modfest, Mod Garden. All the names are so similar, So we want to be experimental and, like, try new things, keep trying new things. This is how I do, this is how I work my, stuff all the time. It's like, question, what inspired us? Well, okay. So what sort of inspired me with Mod Garden was I was personally wanting a longer time frame for Modfest because like I would just not have the right amount of time to complete my mods that I have huge plans for, and it was just not really like it was just like it was very like pre 3 week Modfest especially was just very pre 3 week Modfest was just very crunchy. So yeah, it was a bit of crunch. Anyways. But yeah, I just didn't really like the whole cheese. I don't see how a quicker period plus new mods will work. This isn't meant to be Blanketcon. I think you're not understanding this. It's a longer period, not shorter period. It's not like we have like 2 weeks. It's not like we have like 1 week of 1 week to create mods, and if you don't, it's not like we have like 1 week to create mods and like.
The pose stack is too powerful.
Yeah, pose stack.
This is why I don't do rendering mods.
But yeah. I ultimately I think it's a 2 cake situation, if that makes sense, Cheese. Like, why should we have to like, so I think it's a 2 cake situation here, Cheese, if like you wanna like know, oh, what's the point? Why can't we just be Modfest? It's like having another event team is like always more events are fun, exactly. It's like why do we have to like okay, sure. I'm just clarifying that it's very similar. Okay. Yes, it is. And that is like we're not trying to like the thing is like Q to Silv reinvent the wheel talk. We're not claiming that we're reinventing the wheel. We are not. We're not claiming that we're reinventing the wheel. Yeah.
Wait, let me see. Okay,
Yeah.
Is my voice working now? Okay, good.
Yeah.
So basically what I was saying is it's good to have variation in this case. It's definitely a slightly different thing, but it adds its own little spin on it.
Yeah. Yeah, like we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here, and if we came across that way, no, that's not our intent. It's like, again, like 2 cakes. You don't just go like, oh, this cake is better than the other one. No, you have 2 cakes. I'm not eating that other cake because ew, it's icky, it's bad. Can we use bone meal to grow the mods? Good question.
Does it extend growable? If so, then yes.
Does it extend growable? Okay. The only possible issue would be the fact that you might be spreading the developer pool thinner than it wants to be. And you develop libraries before the modding period. Yes, I'll get back to you, Cheese, but yeah. We can develop libraries before it. Like, those are fine. Those are 100% fine. Like, you can use your pre-existing libraries in the thing. Do you have an idea of what the first theme will be? Yes, we do. Specifically, we are choosing 1.21.5, which I forgot to actually mention in the talk. because it's like sort of like an experimental version and we wanted to like try and give people a go at like some future stuff. Also because the Pale Garden is relevant to the theme. So hopefully that explains a little bit about the theme. Do you prefer catching the latest or pick a so-called LTS version? We are not biased in this regard, actually. So we are not going to be doing latest every time, nor are we going to be doing LTS versions every time. Ultimately, it's what we think is the best fit. Similar with loaders. We're doing Neoforge and we might do Neoforge in the future, but the current one's Fabric 1.21.5, because Neoforge doesn't really have a scene on 1.21.5. As well as our audience is more Fabric oriented at the moment. So hope that explains, like, we don't really want to, like, stick ourselves to one thing. Because that sounds like not the best idea. So yeah. You think you will go back to 1.16.5, 1.7.10, 1.2.5, beta 1.7.3? Good question. I doubt we're gonna go to like 1.16 or like 1.12. Because those two are not really versions that I super care about. As I don't really see much point with like those two versions in particular, but as for other versions, the hard thing is like getting the tooling up for those versions. The hard thing is getting up the tooling for those versions, so probably not. Because we'd have to set up tooling for those versions, and like, that sounds like a lot of work for what would be little.
We'd also have to set up
construction.
Yeah, we'd have to set up like all of the other utility mods like barricade and like fire blanket. That'd probably be entirely different, but yeah, all of that would have to be backported too.
Yeah.
Barricade before barriers exist.
Barricade before barriers existed.
Silicate
I think
before
there is a
loot
question from
predicates
Cheese,
existed.
yeah. Cheese, could you re-answer your question? Could you re-ask your question? Was it the... What does voting and or winning apply? Bragging rights? Just bragging rights, yeah. We don't want to, like, involve money, because, like, that, I feel like, I feel like money is a bit much for something like this.
You get flowers.
You just... There's just bragging rights, you know? Last message was a comment. Okay, your last message was a comment. Okay, cool. Yeah. I do appreciate your concerns, but again, it's like you're actively like choosing to participate in this. It's like you'll probably want to like, and like us and Modfest can always like message each other and tell each other like when like the events are like going on and stuff like that. Like we're not going to be running like, I don't know, like 4 events in a year, for example, because that's too much. It's going to be probably like 1 or 2 at most. 2 at most, probably just one this year. I'm taking a long break in the second half of the year. 2 events if we really feel like it is ultimately the goal for Mod Garden. So yeah. We don't want to like keep running events while like we don't want to just like go, oh yeah, here's an event, oh yeah, here's an event, oh yeah, here's an event. It's like you need to like, yeah. Neoforge team does have one in the June. Yes, it does. If you want to, yeah, server-side one, yeah. We did hear about that, and honestly, that's kind of cool. I wish them good luck. with their jam. I wish them luck with their jam.
All right, I think we should wrap it up now.
I think we should wrap it up now. I think we should wrap it up now. So yeah, I think that we've answered all of the questions. If you arrived late, please do re-look at the recording. Because some questions will be explained a bit better there in like our pre-scripted area. Probably loads to link to the video on the blog. That's a great idea. Yeah, do that. So yeah, thank you all for listening, and we will head out. Goodbye. I'm just gonna delete the headset. You might want to take off your headset, Ultras. Hello. Yeah, your hat's cool. That's cool, Jar. Put on my hat. There we go. So yeah, I guess the main thing that we need to like work on is just. So yeah, we have a lot of work ahead of us, and we are going to. We're going to try and keep that in mind. I expect us to start small because, like, again, it's like.
John Modgarden. Hello. Everyone's wearing cool things on their head, and I'm wearing a jar.
Yo, where the bus at?
The bus is out front.
If any of you get killed and need a TP, just let us know.
Alright, the bus is at I think the hammer would work for like English for a second. Get up this. No.
The fuck was that sound? two libraries, Calio and Apoli, which are both made by the same development team. So, Calio, Apoli, and Origins, sometimes they reinvent systems that already exist, or they create more complicated systems than they need to be. So, let's first start with Codex and Calio's replacement for those. So, believe it or not, actually, first we're gonna have to talk about Codex. So, no, I hate NDEC. Okay, well, I don't hate NDEC, but I actually did see NDEC before. But anyway, that's another codec thing. But so let's talk about some codecs. So for context, Data Fixer Upper is the library that Minecraft uses to upgrade old data in worlds, and codecs are the serialization deserialization subsystem of that. So Minecraft uses both parts of the library, but most mods only make use of codecs to read and write entity, block, and world data. Codecs can be defined in many ways, and there are a multitude of resources built into DFU for defining codecs. For example, Record Codec Builder can merge map codecs, a type of codec that is typically used in data packs and data-driven resources, such as barricades, barriers. Map codecs are a type of codec that defines keys and values, similar to a map in Java, but not quite, because it's only, if I remember correctly, it's only one key and one value. But that's what record codec builders do. They merge map codecs. So a collection of map codecs is essentially the same as JS1 object. Map codecs are especially useful for types that have many fields or cannot otherwise be reduced to a non-object type in a language like JS1. So codecs also define primitive and default types such as integers, strings, resource locations, and holders. Also, this is documentation for record codecs. I forgot to put that out. So, yeah. So, essentially, it's just a serialization deserialization system. Yeah, Calio and Apoli are actually getting rewritten for codecs in the newer versions. Yeah, I did see that. So, before I move on to Calio is supposed to be like, it used to be a replacement for codecs because the original author of Origins didn't know about DFU. So not all mods use codecs. In 1.17, Calio was created to re-implement the entire codec system because the author was unaware of DFU's codecs. This replacement was limited to serialization and deserialization from my research with only JS1 and packets, and it didn't integrate well with Minecraft's codebase, as far as I could tell, because it wasn't exactly easily interchangeable with regular codecs. And Calio's serialization deserialization system had seemingly no overall improvements over codecs. So I guess its necessity at the time was debatable. But eventually it did switch to using regular codecs for serialization, which kind of negated its purpose. The only active maintainer of Origins right now is Egohito. Yeah, so it's kind of at a standstill right now, yeah. So yeah, it kind of ceased to be an independent library, right? It didn't really need to be in the first place, unless there was like some specific feature that they needed, but it didn't seem like that. Anyway, so let's talk about Apoli. So Apoli is a data-driven power provider mod. It allows data packs to define powers that can be attached to entities. So like flying, for example, or something like that. It's what Origins uses, basically, to give powers to people. So in its data packs, Apoli creates an intricate syntax sometimes with some structures that could be simplified. I'll show some examples soon. So a good example of this is its action type system. Apoli makes liberal use of what would be known in codecs as optional codecs to identify categories of actions. But Minecraft already had a system for this. It was called registry dispatching, which allows, or it has other things, but That's one of them that allows variable data structures which are identified by a type field. I think it already uses something like this, but from what I can see, it only uses it once, and it's, I don't know. I'll show you. So it doesn't use registry dispatching to determine the category of allowed action types. So this is an example of some code, in a data pack used by a pulley. So, for example, any by entity action is defined in an object with the by entity action key. So this isn't really necessary. This is different from a system. There are a few ways to do this, but this is different from a system where in an action object's category is defined by a child called, for example, interaction type. This kind of naming scheme and flattening the structure, in my opinion, allows for a more readable structure. It's more intuitive, at least. So this allows the user to better understand the intention of the fields, and it restricts the programmer from stripping that intention from field names by using this kind of system. So let's look at an exceptionally bad example of reinventing the wheel then. This was just kind of... Oh, I don't think the tablet's... I don't think the tablet's working. Uh-oh.
No, it's frozen. The VC's on a separate thread, so it keeps working, but we're all frozen.
Well, we're halfway there, so...
If these have classes, can we just take a break to update the pack?
Oh, watchdog. Alright. I guess it'll be a little longer than planned, but that's fine. We have plenty of time. Server crashed, so... guess we'll have to wait. It's not a Blanketcon.
Did it cut us?
Let's restart the talk, guys, now.
Just from the top.
All right, can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
Indeed, we
All right,
can.
perfect. Are we recording? I think Lily is. Oh, okay, we are. All right. What? Okay, perfect. So, yeah, comment on NetDeck. All right, Cheese, go ahead. Can you? Honestly, okay. Can I get your opinion? So Cheese, I didn't really look at the source code for NDEC. I just saw that it was kind of just its own thing. I didn't really understand. I didn't really look into it as much. Better version of codec. Okay, well, I mean, sure. I mean, as long as you have a reason to do it, I guess it's not really. It's kind of that's kind of my point, is that you should really have a good reason to reinvent the wheel, you know? So if it's better in some way, then yeah. Hello. All right. So all right. So let's start from where we left off. So let's look at an exceptionally bad example of reinventing wheel. This one I personally did. So let's talk about registration first. Registration is a subsystem of Minecraft that keeps track of the definition of game objects, such as blocks and items, and it associates these definitions with a resource location, which is also known as an identifier. It's a string with a namespace and a path. So it has the namespace :path syntax that you've probably seen before, like block IDs. So according to Neoforge's documentation, a registry is, simply put, a wrapper around a map that maps registry names to registered objects, often called registry entries. So registries create singletons, or single instances of definitions, referred to as registry entries, that hold properties for game objects. And this makes the game object known to Minecraft so it can be used. For example, each block is really just the same block. So each instance of these blocks is just the same one. These are all the same. What is this? Diorite. Yeah, I can never remember that. Diorite, andesite, same thing. So this is where we get into libreg, which, if I remember correctly, I made this like 3 or 4 years back in like 2021-ish. I worked on this. It was supposed to be a Kotlin library, which is already pretty bad. It was supposed to be a Kotlin library that makes registration I mean, K-render is great and all, but I'm just saying, it makes it's supposed to make registration good, easier to use. So, but really, it was just a way to add more one-liners. I guess that's not always a good thing. You shouldn't always have one.
Hi. Some of your mics out.
All right, are we back? Sorry, my internet is like middle of nowhere
back.
Appalachian Mountains forest internet. So sorry
We're
about that.
back. You're good.
So Librig, it was a library with a wrapper around Minecraft registration that supposedly simplified registration, but it failed to do this, and it even had its own bugs. So I already kind of went over how Librig works. Oh, double mic. I think that's. I'll use this one. Is this one working? Okay. So I already kind of went over how Librig worked, but I unfortunately I didn't compile any slides with what the code looked like, but it was very much a library that you just used one line and you inline defined classes. Like you basically just made anonymous classes to define your blocks. That was the best way to do it. Or at least that was the examples. So it also intended to have cross-version compatibility to some extent for whatever reason, which if you know anything about Minecraft refactors, yeah, that's cursed. don't ever do this. I mean, unless you're making like the next bucket, but like you probably shouldn't be making the next bucket, honestly. So I don't know why I decided this was a good idea to do. I mean, you probably shouldn't. I mean, you know, there's always the Minecraft update that breaks the space heater space bar. So, you know, you never know. But I guess Mojang is you know. Anyway, so 21.5. So Librig used a global state when registering, which caused a multitude of issues, such as a weird race condition, I think. I haven't investigated it in a while, but there was some odd race condition going on, which was causing the registration to go out of order or something. So you know, that was really weird. It was kind of like this slide right here, you know, knock knock, race condition, who's there? So I was very confused whenever I was like restarting the game and the item groups, the creative tabs were just out of order. It was so strange. Yeah. So that was odd. So that's honestly this is the part where I start glazing Neoforge, but Neoforge has what are called deferred registers, which I really like these, by the way. These are objects that aid in proper registration. When registering with a deferred register, it automatically uses your mod's namespace whenever you pass it in right there, and it returns a deferred holder, which is a type of supplier. So you can call that, and it gives you the actual registration registered item, as long as it's registered, whenever you call it that. So deferred registers are really nice for registration because they allow you to do what libreg wanted to encourage. Clear, clean, don't repeat yourself syntax. But libreg's design is definitely the naive approach that can happen whenever you try to reinvent the wheel, especially for the first time. Yeah, I love deferred registers too. They're great. So what should you do? A recent good example of doing what has already been done is Barricade in Silicate. Barricade, if you weren't here earlier, Barricade is a map-making mod adding barriers, including custom barriers. But a strong limitation with Barricade's previous custom barrier system was that it was based on Minecraft's loot predicate system, which is very limited. And the loot predicate system was very much not designed with barriers in mind. It was designed with loot in mind. So, predicates in... Wait, what am I hearing? I don't know. So, predicates are checked on the server side only, which is a problem with Barricade's barriers because they also need to be checked client side to ensure that there's no weird, I don't know, rubber banding. And they're also built specifically for use with loot tables and nothing else. They are not designed for anything else. They're not good for anything else, especially not client-side usage. Which, previously, in old versions of Barricade, the custom advanced barriers, those, whatever defining them, those would use a cursed client-side loot predicate system, which was very hacked in. So they were definitely not designed for Barricade's use case, which is checking if an entity meets a certain condition, which is pretty simple. So that's why I made Silicate. So for anyone who wasn't at the mod garden talk, Silicate, also known as Silly Predicates, is a library that provides powerful client-server agnostic predicates with a simple API.
Okay, I guess.
The goal of Silicate is to complete a context-aware predicate system on par with Minecraft's by implementing a independent of Minecraft. So, Silicate was created as a way to predicates in a manner compatible with client-side code, and it was also created so that it would be simple in nature. So this is just an example of, I believe this is, yeah, so if it returns true if either the entity is a vehicle or a passenger. So this is for writing barriers. So Silicate was created simply because the existing system was entirely inadequate and it was built with only loot tables in mind. That's why I made it. So that's why I justify reinventing the wheel here. I did end up tearing down and rewriting parts of Silicate multiple times, and that's part of learning. You fail before you succeed, but eventually I got to something desirable and relatively easy to use. This is right here is the source code of game condition, and I made sure to meticulously Java doc every little thing. So of course I didn't get everything, but whatever. So Silicate is, in this case, a prime example of reinventing the wheel for ease of use, rather than just because you didn't make it here, or because you didn't know about it. So that's honestly why I justify Silicate. So yeah, so reinvent the wheel, but only sometimes, and do it for fun, and do it to make things easier for you, because you might learn something new. That's it.
What is that? I'm just making margaritas, man.
Is that your job? You're a bartender?
Yeah, that's what I'm training to be.
What?
So.
Who are you people? Town remembers his SMP season 1 where I was literally a
Also, I'll leave this up here so you can stare at this cursed graph I made.
I had an entire amethyst related bar that I never actually finished.
That's
and then I built the Twin Towers.
Wait, I just realized something.
By the way, does anyone have any questions?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you mean this guy, the ticket launcher?
Yeah,
Here,
let
have
me,
it.
let me try that.
Wait, is this working? Is the microphone working?
No, wait, Talon, you remember the Twin Towers, right?
Oh, it works.
It does work.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Okay, it's working. Alright.
I remember. Talon
So,
literally walked
does
up
anyone
to
have
me
any
and just
questions?
said,
Oh,
like,
it
"Can't
only
believe
works
we're in the
with
Twin
the corner.
Towers."
Wait, it should be
It only
enabled.
works with one projectile at a time.
We have some paper notes here that if you want me to read them.
Dropped the fucking.
Okay, go ahead.
No, that's the thing, is it's so easy.
Alright, so this paper note right here is what should the next bucket fork be called?
Yeah.
What should the next bucket fork be called?
Yeah, it's not.
Honestly, I'm thinking about calling. I mean, I didn't call it. I saw this really interesting one called Abomination. So while researching for the talk, I found this thing called Abomination, which I'll read you the description. So, have you ever wanted to create a paper fork that has multiple paper forks as its upstream? Me neither. But thanks to this absolute train wreck created by someone who just used Kotlin and advanced-ish Gradle for the first time, you can. So essentially, it's just a bunch of random paper forks all combined together. So I guess there's your answer. I don't know. Abomination.
I guess. Oh, sorry if I cut you off. Would you like to go?
That's fine.
You can have.
You can go first.
Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so you briefly mentioned origins and how it's rewritten to use codecs. I actually want to know your thoughts on. I want to actually know your thoughts on how Origins rewrote and what it could do to improve.
Honestly, I think mainly the problem that I've heard and that I've seen with Origins is that, at least I think it used to have a bad code style issue. You should really strive for a consistent code style in your code base and for consistent goals whenever you're writing code. That's what I do. So if you want to make something simple, make it simple. Stay in scope, you know? So once you start to step out of your scope, you start forgetting what the original scope was, and you could, start prioritizing the wrong things. That's kind of my take on that. Question: how do you think sinnce and other tools used to run mods on different modelers play into reinventing the wheel? I didn't really give that one much thought. So, other mod loaders, I mean, it's honestly that's kind of like making a bridge, sort of, to like. That's like making a bridge so you can have more mods on one other side of the pond, you know? So some people really like some fabric only mods that you just can't get on Neoforge, and sinnce really does help with that. I don't know, I mean, you kind of do have to reinvent the wheel with its fabric API thing, the Forgified Fabric API, because of how Neoforge and stuff works. So that's just kind of inevitable, but they're doing it for a good cause, so. Additionally, what have tools like porting lib? I've never heard of porting lib, actually. I'm gonna search is porting lib. Is providing functionality for mods from Forge to Fabric. That's what create Fabric. Oh, interesting.
Oh, hello.
I mean, if it adds deferred registers, then I'm happy, you know? So, alright, any other questions?
Let's play some fucking
My question,
cards.
can this epic
Let
too
me
many
grab
forks and the other dependencies graph be publicized somewhere? Definitely not second I talk right near the end of the event. Sure, yeah, I really don't care about it.
to Crazy
I mean, yeah, I'll publish like the SVG and PNG Probably under like CC0 or something, a little bit right after, probably. I can just DM it to you if you want, SCHR. So, does anyone else have any other questions?
It's on. There you go.
Oh, okay.
What do you think about how multi-part implementations are today, and how
like
there are many of them?
If you're wondering.
Oh, my mic got. Who did this? Bruh.
Suitor number.
Wait, what?
Oh, man.
If you don't have
I can't read the note.
Up to 3 times.
Multi-part implementations? Can you explain what multi-part is?
What do you think about multi-part blocks, like multiple smaller blocks, and how there are a lot of them, like everyone implements their own?
Oh yeah. Honestly, there should just be a standard for something like that, especially for something. If it can break compatibility, there should really just be a standard for something like that. Sometimes standards can suck, and of course people reinvent standards, but then that's how you get to, let me bring it back up. That's how you get to something like that XKCD, not that one. You don't want that. You don't want 14 standards. That's what happens whenever you have bad standards. So we have another question here. Yeah. I wish they would make an XKCD for XKCDs. So, question asks, if you were to give the lowest bar for why you should be allowed to reinvent the wheel, ease of use, efficiency, new features, etc., etc. Honestly, ease of use but like I guess you could classify ease of use as a new feature. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say which is better than the other. Honestly, whichever you think is good, as long as you stay within your scope, right? As long as you set a scope for yourself and set something that you want to do and you're sure of it, then you should be fine. Stuff like System D, yeah, so avoid feature creep. Yeah, exactly. So stuff like System D, I hate System D. Everyone hates System D, but you want to know why? System D is the prime example of feature creep. It implements so many different things. This is a Linux thing, by the way, if you're unaware of it. It implements so many different things into itself. It it just ends up being feature creep. So, yeah. System bad, yeah, exactly. So, are there any other questions? What are your opinions on alternatives to System D? I have never used alternatives to System D, honestly. I just use System D just because it's easiest, but I wish I could use something other than System D, but whenever it becomes so crucial, but also full of feature creep and probably full of many, many bugs, therefore, it just kind of bugs me. No pun intended. So, I would use RC if Arch just supported it one day. I wish there was something better than OpenRC. Yeah, sure, go ahead, Jitter. How do you think Mojang could help modders regarding preventing reinventing the wheel, besides making DFU not atrocious? Well, honestly, I think at a certain point, Mojang needs to decide what the best system for things is. But to be honest, if they decided the best system to, for example, do trees just one day and they just never touched it again, they would probably be out of a job. So honestly, that's a hard question to ask. You kind of, whenever you're modding for something like that changes a lot like Minecraft, reinventing the wheel or making a new standard is sometimes inevitable, but as long as there are not too many standards that go out of their scope, that's kind of what you want to avoid. people still wouldn't want to use it if there was a unified standard. That's true. Yeah. Question. If you had to choose one thing to become data-driven next, what would you choose? Oh, that's hard. Because there's two things. There's entity models and blocks, and I don't know which one I want more. Honestly, blocks. I would go with blocks. I think, yeah, blocks for sure. Because it would help data pack makers so much. And it would also, it would result in probably some registry refactors, but, and libreg surviving that would be absolutely hilarious. So, you know, yeah, I if libreg existed still, that would be funny if it had cross version compatibility between the block JSON refactors. So, are there any other questions? I don't think you have any more questions. All right. Any last minute questions? What's your favorite Linux distro? Arch, by the way. It's kind of my favorite distro. Yeah, exactly. Arch all the way. I love Arch. No. God damn it. Anyway, yeah, that's.
Boy, do I like falling out of the sky.
I'm always playing.
Wow.
You can put that in chat. Alright, what's next for panel?
By the way, I will SSCHR. I don't know how to pronounce your name, honestly. I will send you the graph. I'll probably like put it on GitHub or something.
People just call me Chris.
Yeah, Chris. Even though that's probably not your name. I don't know.
It isn't my name.
Yeah.
But I've been called that so often that I've just adopted that as my alternate name online.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I do go by like an alternative name online, even though I would totally take Sylve as a real life name. It's technically not my real life name.
Changing your name is like, I read a story once where
Fun
the
fact,
hardest
I
part
now-
about
I
it
now
was
have,
dealing with the credit card companies.
2 different copies of your voice from the recording.
What?
Because I have OBS set up, so it will separate Minecraft audio,
I'm being petted.
and my own audio into 3 different, and then that goes on to channels, and that goes into the actual recording. But then I also record on Simple Voice Chat itself, so I get individual users' recordings.
Wow. Wawa 2.
Yeah, oh, what? God darn it, I clicked buttons.
Alright, let me...
So yeah, when you send those to me, then I have to very quickly and hackily stick them into my existing presentation set of things. But before then, I gotta restart because I updated my automaton version again.
That whole setup sounds very cursed. Alright, fork map. I think here, I'll... Okay, and then I'll add fork map here. Like monocraft or something. Here it is, monocraft.tcc. And
Yo, does anyone want a cement eater?
fork map.png.
My bad, bro. My bad.
Alright, I've returned. Time to find out if people can hear me when I'm in spectator.
Do the voice chat icons not show up for anyone else? Because I don't see them. Like the speaking icons and the name tags, I don't see them at all.
Oh. You know, whatever.
I'm so good at the game. And by the game, I mean programming.
You just lost the game.
That's a different game. But now I can now be forever looking directly at you, or I can decide with the click of a single button to instead watch that prop fox over there if I can remember which button is which. This way I can set from when there are multiple speakers, who do I want to look at. It's great.
Alright, I uploaded the SVG and PNG. I added the SVG in Inkscape.
I see, cool.
So, yeah. Although, I don't know about the monocraft thing, I just added that there. Actually, I should probably just remove monocraft and say that you need to download it. It's fine. It's just all there.
I should publish my changes that I made to the other things, so that way other people can actually use my changes that I made.
Also, your microphone is very, very quiet.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I had to boost like 300%.
How about now?
It's still quiet.
Okay, that's perfect.
I just yanked the gain up.
That is better, I think.
Yeah.
What was it? Right, I forgot what I was doing already. I'm great at this whole thing. Alright, time to push my changes. Because I'm so great at this whole development thing.
Oh, drop questions. I didn't realize that this was a thing.
I think they're
Wait, were there...
trash.
Oh no, were there questions? Oh no, it's just a bunch of colon 3s.
the best questions.
Someone
The
asked,
most
who is
important.
Calico and why is she gardening a mod?
I am curious. Tip. Moi.
God darn it! I
Maintenance handbook.
didn't fix a thing. I can't
Anyway,
be
these
bothered
are.
to though.
Someone put bananas in here.
Okay, so I just learned that the camera point thing that Automaton has will not actually teleport me unless I am in spectator mode, so that's a thing.
I've been given the Suzanne.
Edible Suzanne.
Oh god. Ew, why does it sound gooey?
Drop it.
Get the night off.
Here. Oh no. Soul's out of the game, I guess.
Worst game of the night. I fucking hate you.
Now, if we don't have something nice to say, we don't say anything.
I was gonna multitude you if this will beat me to it.
Who? Oh, Soul's turn.
It's time.
Did you brick us? Did you brick our game?
I was a leak hat.
No, it's Soul's turn. The pointer's on his deck.
Oh no, the game might be. Well, game over, gang.
Ah! I don't get knocked back. Remember, I'm better than that. Game over.
It's Yokover.
I just want the stupid shard.
Oh, do you have to win 8 games?
I think it's only 2 games. They said it says. I don't know.
No, I'm not gambling like that.
Ooh, you want to play a game?
Someone 1v1 me, just 1-on-1. Wow. Okay.
I don't want to see this. I'm gonna...
Oh, come on.
Oh shit! Sorry. Trying to hit him.
Is that a baseball?
Yeah, I got it.
How am I not hitting you?
Wait, I'm downloading Peak, hold up.
Get fucked!
Huh? Huh. 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 Huh.
had so much fun making that.
Also, look at what's on top of my head. Yeah, it's in a plushie mod that someone made.
That's really cool. I forget about, like, they always include the wear anything.
Hold on, I have to hit you twice. Thank you. Sorry, I hit you. Okay, watch. Yeah, come out here. I need to charge this up a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I need like
You can hit me a couple times. I'll just come back and respawn.
If I just spam
Yeah, I
quick,
wonder if
it
it's spam.
charges up pretty well.
Oh, thank you. Wait, is that what the
You can't get it now. You can't get it.
How the fuck do you use this shit?
Is this a... Is that Amarong? Oh, I don't have the...
This is the
ammo.
dev. I don't have any kind of ammo to... I don't... Does it need to be loaded to use the crossbow?
Thank you.
That's sick.
Wait, are you Sky Not Limit? Or is this the wrong person? Hold on.
That is.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're John Amarong. Holy.
It does seem to be a little broken. Like, it's not... It let me fire it once, but... I don't know. Don't go to spawn! Don't go to spawn! It's
Is it
sensory
evil?
overload hell.
Oh my god.
I'm glad
Oh,
you
I need
did more.
more of those flint arrows.
There's my 16.
Where are those flint arrows from?
Sky gave him 2.
Honestly.
Yeah. The thing about it is I hate that it goes so you don't have the like stuff to do it. And I'm like, dude, that's so easy. That's such a I don't know. Sometimes when you get into the coding stuff, you notice.
Majority of things.
Just show me the mod when you get it.
I apologize for what happens next. Oh, why can't I hurt you? Can I hurt you? Hey, that's not very cool.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the boardwalk real quick and grab some fucking silly ass shoes that make you fly.
You should also grab this.
I'll be sure to.
Grab the yippee.
Wait, there's shoes that make you fly? I want that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the ones we're
Wait, no,
wearing.
you want creative flight? Follow me.
Oh, this.
What do you mean?
You want creative flight? Follow me.
Yeah, I want creative flight. We can get creative flight.
It does have. It's this. I'd recommend grabbing the magic containers if you want to have it longer.
this exist? I'm too phonos. Phonos club. Hello down there. Yeah. Ah. Hello up there. Hello up there.
Probably.